is day 2 of End Bad Governance protest all over Nigeria. It's a pity it has gone bad in some places, that have gone violent, and even in some states, they have declared curfew. But we are not too surprised because the level of education and awareness among the average Nigerian youth is very, very poor. And I've looked at a trend, some states where it has gone really very bad. You look at the category of people that are perpetrating violence, you see that they are very low in level of education. I've seen some video clips of how people were looting and spoiling government properties. If there's even a pathetic one of someone trying to vandalize a traffic light as if it's a fleeting pain on the traffic light. So you see that a lot of perspectives are playing out, but it all boils down to how governance in Nigeria has been so desecrated over the years. It's not really about the Tinubu administration. We must make something clear because some people have been challenging me. It's not about Tinubu's administration. The only problem with Tinubu administration is that he heightened people's hope. And that's why in the course of campaign, we need to be very, very careful. He heightened people's hope and even the slogan of renewed hope. So it is very, very, very easy when people's hope are shattered. They will put the blame on you that promised them a better hope. But that aside, we're going to talk about some of the fundamental things raised by the protesters, by Nigerians. I've had, some people saying they are being sponsored. You don't need to sponsor a man that is hungry to get angry. You don't need. All you have to do is to perpetuate the hunger. Then the anger is inevitable. So stop saying that some people are sponsoring the opposition. That's even part of the responsibility of the opposition. When there are lapses on the part of the ruling party or the ruling administration, the opposition will capitalize on it. It's a perfect time to sell what they can do differently. They will help you to magnify whatever your fault was. So stop complaining that opposition, even those in government now, they use the same tactics. So it's not new. But I've not seen any hand of opposition in all of these things. No. Hunger is hunger. Hunger has no tribe. Hunger has no religion. People are hungry. So if you suspect that some people are sponsoring anger, claiming that it's caused by hunger, then provide food and see if that will not, stop the whole exercise. You have not done anything on the contrary. So one of the things they are agitating for is reversal of the subsidy. They want Nigeria to go back to pre-2023, May 29, 2023, to go back to that era before the soil subsidy. How realistic that is, I don't know, because at a point you hear that there's no more subsidy, then at a time you hear that there is subsidy from behind. But what I think that government has not done is that it's taking too long to make Dangote begin to produce PMS. That would have, alleviated the suffering of Nigerians since last year. But because of class war and a lot of whatever, I just believe that they have not allowed patriotism to guide their decision concerning Dangote refinery. Forget about monopoly or not. He's a businessman. He's not into this refinery business because he loves Nigeria so much or because he loves crude oil so much. He's doing it because he wants to make profit. And he's capitalizing on the lack, on absence of something. And he's going to provide it. The important thing is to Nigerians is that he walks straight into the fuel, the filling station, he buys the fuel and gets out at reasonable cost. So if that is going to bring in the gap, why frustrate him? Why frustrate? It's not reasonable, it's not explainable. They are talking about subsidy on tariff, electricity tariff. The way the electricity tariff has been in the last 1 year, it has been crazy. They want it reduced because this also talks about power. It talks about energy. All the source of energy for Nigeria, particularly the small scale businesses, they are dying. For instance, look at let's say a man that has a salon, a barber, what is his profit per day, and he buys petrol for 700 naira or 750. In a day, maybe he was making maybe profit of 2,000 naira per day or 3,000 naira per day. By the time he bought two liters of petrol from that? What's going to be left for him? So they are calling for reversal of tariff on energy, on the electricity, so that it will be what it used to be. You know, all this bande bambi basi is not workable for Nigerians for now. For now, because their income has been, you know, it has been shrinked due to hyperinflation. So if you don't make some of these tariffs and, you know, some of these tariffs, if you don't make them bearable, then the little they are even earning, you know, you are going to take it from them. Forget about salary increase. They are talking about tariff and subsidy on education. Now, that one is very, very important. Every money you spend on education is directly spent on security. For every money you refuse to spend on education, you spend multiple on security. And it is playing now. Some of those places I looked at, you know, the kind of guys that are perpetrating violence in those places where the protests went violent, you know, like Borno, like Katsina, like Kaduna, Kano. Look at those small, small boys. They are almajiri, so to say. They are uneducated. Their literacy level is almost zero. So they don't even know what the protest is all about. They just know that people are hungry and they are willing to vent their anger, you know, transfer their aggression and frustration on anybody or anything, you know. So the level of education too will also play a very long role in having a secure society. So they are calling for return of subvention and subsidy on education. That is a very reasonable thing to ask for, particularly when you are hearing about millions, billions, trillions for projects, and they will now look at how are these projects government are spending this much money on? How are they directly impacting on their lives? No way. So they are asking for subsidy on education. Now, here is where we go. They are asking for reduction in cost of governance, reduction in salary of politicians. Now, this one is very, very, very technical and very, very sensitive. It is easier said than done, because these same people are the ones that will fix the salary. And so to now say you want to reduce it, it will take a lot of effort. But the truth is, the way we hear about the humongous allowances and salaries, though many of them dispute it, I don't know whether they are true or not, but the truth is, the cost of governance in Nigeria is too high compared to the level, the cost of living, and at the level of poverty. You know, if we can't just marry the two, you know, there's going to be a disconnect. The masses will continue to hate the elites and the political class. And this time around, we have a notification for the violence. The next time, we might not be so fortunate. It might be sporadic and spontaneous. And that is why there is an urgent need for government to attend to some of these needs. You know, in my own opinion, I think if government can attend to, I've categorized them in just basic 6 needs that are put forward. But if government can attend to 2 and say, give us 6 months, then in another 6 months, we'll have attended to this, and this. That will, you know, placate people, and this tension will just douse down. But it's only few governors that have come out to address their people. You know, it's only, you know, okay, let me just give you an example of your state. You know, I mentioned that on Freshly Pressed on Wednesday, and some people think I was only being politically biased or partisan. No, I am informed, and I had the information. I was even invited to critical stakeholder meeting on Wednesday in view of the protest on Thursday. You know, the critical youth leaders, they were addressed. They marketed what the government is doing in Oyo State, and they persuaded them on the need to have peaceful protest. Not that don't protest. Hey, we are dissociating from the people. Go and protest, but ensure that they are peaceful protest. In a few states, you see that they were peaceful. If you look at the education level in those states, you see that a lot of the youth protesting in those states, they have sound minds. One thing that is crucial when you are having protests, you know, the vandals, the hoodlums, they are always at the back. And notice that most of the places, the security agencies were in the front. No, 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 no. You can be in the front, but more importantly, the hoodlums are at the back. They are not interested in all those selfie those ones are doing. I'm talking to the TV, I'm talking. They are not interested. They are only looking for opportunities to perpetrate what they know to do best. And most of the time, they are at the back. When the real protesters, they have gone. They are coming at the back, smoking. There is very high level of substance abuse in Nigeria now. So when you have like maybe 20 youths, going on a procession, then you can be very sure that at least 5 or 6 out of 20, they have taken, something to make them high. And when you are under such circumstances, you can do and undo. So those ones will also be part of the protest. And like I said, it is the government responsibility to prevent the populace from getting to the point where they have to take to the streets. Because when you get to the streets, you can't control everybody. You can control everybody when we are not all on the streets. Because even the gentleman, when he's among the crowd, he will also want to show that I belong to the crowd. And that will bring a little more level of misbehavior among them. So that being said, I think government has a responsibility to prevent people from going out to the street. Talk to your people, engage them. You can use various means. Saying that the strike is sponsored, the strike should not hold. That's the mistake you keep making. Engage them. Try to talk sense to some people. There are some people that will not go out for the protest, but they are sympathizing with the protesters. When you get their attention, they have a way of getting them off the streets. And if at all they go to the street, they will not be violent. Some of these people, you do as if you didn't pass through this youthful age. It is not like that. Talk to them. These people, they still hear words and lose the language they understand. One of them said that when they were going to talk to us during campaign, they know where to find us. Now they are asking us to come. They should come to the street and address us. Simple truth. Government knows, or politicians know how to get to the nook and crannies to campaign, different groups, different organizations. Reach out to them. Government cannot survive. You can't rule people by palliative. You must make the economy vibrant. One of the things they also are agitating for is funds for SME. I must commend government that there are a lot of agencies and a lot of programs to make funds available for SMEs, even at the state level, at the federal government level. But many of those people, they are not aware and they don't know the process of accessing these funds. I can tell you categorically that in Nigeria, I am privileged to know that there are funds. And some of these agencies and government and parastatals will not even give you cash. They will ask you, is it raw materials you want or machinery? And they will provide it for you so that your business can move forward. So, but many of these people, there's a disconnect. Many of these people are not aware. They don't even know they can access such funds. They don't even know that such funds are available or how they access it. So there are a lot of disconnects. And governments need to be rigid so that some of these things, because like I said, if care is not taken, the next mass action, there will be no notification. We are so fortunate that we have a notification of 1 month before this, because government was busy with propaganda, blackmail, gaslighting, but the next one, we might not get any notification. And that is why we all need, I'm talking now more like a government official, because we now need to be, to really be proactive in doing some things that will get many youths off the street, get them busy, and get them productive. Nigeria is not a productive economy, and banks and our policies, they are not encouraging small businesses. We need to look into this. A lot of people with ideas, I've met a lot of youths, wonderful ideas, wonderful business proposal, but they can't see the light of the day because there are no opportunities to manifest what they really have to produce. So this is day 2. It has gotten violent in some places. In Oyo State, I didn't even see any trace of, protest or demonstration at all today. People just went about low. The traffic and the society was a bit calm, not the normal hustle bustle, but no protest. I didn't see any feel of protest anywhere I went today. But all the same, day 2 come and gone. Day 3 starts tomorrow. We don't know if they will keep up to the 10th day, but if you ask me, I'll say, let's just give government time to respond to these 2 days so that we'll reassess and see how it goes. We don't want loss of lives. We don't want destruction of properties. But less communication, engagement, civil engagement. It has been communicated. Let's see what government does. Like I said, it's not really about this government. What this government did is that you heighten people's hope and you have not met it. This bad governance is not peculiar to this administration. It has been there for long. People are just fed up. And when people are fed up, they can misbehave. So, but government, please attend to the needs of Nigerians. People are really, really hungry. You don't need to sponsor an hungry man to get angry. The hunger alone is enough sponsorship to trigger any kind of hunger or misbehavior. Thank you. I will see you next time, probably tomorrow, if there are enough protests to report. But let's remember, Nigeria for our dream is still possible. We only need to be responsible, both as leaders and as citizens. As citizens, we must continue engagement, continuous engagement, engagement on engagement until we get what we desire from the government. And government must be listening so that the people will not get frustrated. Thank you. I remain Rotimi Johnson Ojasope.